For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
While so many administrations are trying to rebuild the St. Jude Hospital, well, somewhere out there, an underground parking garage has been transformed into a hospital. Also, Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre confuses the St. Lucian public yet again. On one hand, preaching division. Now, through a public service announcement, he promotes peace. All that and more between now and 2 o'clock this afternoon, right here on Power 97.9 FM. We are also on YouTube and the Newspin Facebook page. Welcome to another edition of Newspin until 2 o'clock this afternoon. And Newspin, of course, is the most monitored talk show in the world. And you know, people are questioning this. Somebody is in the chat room. I just put the flyer on Facebook. Newspin, the most monitored talk show in the world. And somebody says, in the world, asking the question, in the world. The individual is shocked by this. And I'll be going through some of the other comments. I think I could do so right now. Somebody says, take the opportunity to say, Tim, at last they have cleared the rubbish in Shantytown. Another person comments and says, say it loud. Newspin is the most monitored talk show in the world. Another person says, Tim, continue to feed your ego. Another one says, with no statistics to back it up, just saying things like the UWP. And we have another person saying, exactly my point, whoever told that individual this nonsense. All right, but I'll continue to say it because it is. Because you just don't understand when I tell you the program is being monitored. The operative word there is monitored. As we say, good afternoon to you, Kimani. Comments already coming into the chat room. And one particular question has already surfaced. Tell me about it.
In the chat room, someone says, Tim, I hope you're there trying to find out whose visa got revoked of all that time you are wasting.
Well, we heard that. we've made some calls and we have not been able to confirm. I think most people like a good gossip, and we have to be extremely careful in this country. But also, the onus is on the authorities, those people who are the subject of questions and allegations and claims, etc., to just come forward immediately and clear the air on issues of that nature. For example, we have a press secretary to the Prime Minister. I think you have a communications officer in the office of the Prime Minister. You have a minister with responsibility for information. By now, just clear the air. It is not so. It has not happened, and I don't know where this allegation is coming from. But instead, we just ignore those issues, and they continue to spread and go viral. But that's all that's happening in the chat room for now.
Someone said today was Tuesday, but other than that, yep, that's all in the chat room.
Okay. So the island's Home Affairs Minister, Dr. Virginia Albert Poyot, who is also the MP for Babonneau, during a press briefing this week, I suspect it was on Monday of this week, was fielding questions from reporters, and in particular on the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. And she went on to briefly mention that attempts will be made to rebrand the RSL PF. Let us listen to it. It's a clip, a brief one of that.
Right now we are getting the recruitment and assignment of police officers to be a lot more sophisticated. And that is why I mentioned earlier that we are looking at rebranding the police force. Right now we are getting the recruitment and assignment of police officers to be a lot more sophisticated. And that is why I mentioned earlier that we are looking at rebranding the police force.
So rebranding would entail what? New uniforms, a change in the uniform, a change in the motto, renaming the institution. What would be those changes? Because those, if you're talking about rebranding, those would be cosmetic. What the people of St. Lucia require, and I think what they'll be clamoring for, is a transformation of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. And how you do that? It certainly will be very, very difficult to transform the Royal St. Lucia Police Force, change the ethos, the credo, etc. Because you have to convince people in a society, when you are serving those individuals, that you have taken the necessary steps. You have made the necessary adjustments. You have made the required changes that would result in significant improvement in the quality of your service. And this must be manifested in a way that would have a positive impact on your customers. So this rebranding thing, I don't think it will work. That is perceptive. But you need to do something that is almost tangible, that would impact your customers in a positive way, so that they do not pick up the phone, call a police station, and they're expecting to hear that they have no vehicles, and through the form, the police officer says, we have no transportation. We can't attend to whatever problem that you have right now. We have only 2 police officers. Or if there's a I don't care kind of approach and attitude that is being displayed by some police officers who might give you the impression that they are doing you a favor when you go to the police station, when you call one of the police departments seeking one form of assistance or another. So I don't think rebranding is the word. I think you really need to transform the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. And we all know that the Royal St. Lucia Police Force recently got a black eye, because people have not been trusting of police officers. They tell you that they cannot confide in police officers, because the sooner they communicate some information to the police is the sooner that information will be shared with some unsavory character. Or there are instances when we hear if the police officers are going on a raid, that police officers would alert those people who are the target of that raid. We hear that all the time. So increasingly, people are losing their trust, their confidence in the Royal St. Lucia Police Force, and this spells a lot of trouble for us as a people and the Royal St. Lucia Police Force as an institution. Should we conduct a survey to determine how much trust and confidence the police would have lost over the last few days in St. Lucia? Or is it the case where people will tell us, I told you so? My perception of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force has not changed. And the question to you is, how much do you trust the police force? We have some great police officers, some professional police officers. But in terms of trust, in terms of having confidence in the Royal St. Lucia Police Force, what is your attitude to our lone law enforcement agency? We would want to find out from you during the course of the program, but I think a more scientific study should be conducted as far as the operations or the operation of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force is concerned. Still on the police force, the deputy political leader of the opposition United Workers' Party, Mr. Guy Joseph, during a press conference yesterday, addressed an issue which involves the Royal St. Lucia Police Force.
You heard from the Police Welfare Association president that this action is corrupt. And it's in the letter that the Prime Minister or the leader of the opposition has forwarded to the police commissioner. Because if the police have done what Minister Richard said that they have done, then you have two sets of people to arrest. You have to arrest Richard Frederick, and you have to arrest the police officers who have done this. Now, when it's the little man on the street, so y'all went to Marvin's home, confiscated his computer, took his cell phone, brought him to the cell, and had him locked up on suspected bullying or whatever other things y'all said he was doing on social media. Today you have a minister in the Prime Minister's office who has come out openly and indicated that he has committed a corrupt act with the police officers by receiving information that he was not entitled to receive. He's not an investigating officer. He was not functioning as a lawyer or as a judge. And even if he was as a lawyer, he should not be receiving information from the police. So, what is the government going to do about this? And I have a couple words for the senators who are calling. Alison Jean, you posted on social media that Alan Chasney should be arrested. What has Alan Chasney done to be arrested? I want to know whether you, Alison Jean, have called for the arrest of Richard Frederick for the statements that he made on his talk show about compiling files on individuals in St. Lucia.
Deputy political leader of the opposition, UWP, Guy Joseph, speaking yesterday during a mid-morning press conference. Let's take your calls right now at 452-2979. That's 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, and that is 716-2026. WhatsApp message, somebody says, Tim, there's no way I can trust the police anymore after I heard from a minister of government that he has files from the police. Reason, I can be the next victim. Imagine I see someone with an unlicensed firearm or some illegal activity and report it. My name will pop up and I will be punished for talking. And that is a WhatsApp message. Another one says, what's royal about the police force in St. Lucia? Why the name royal? Well, vestiges of colonialism. Another WhatsApp message. Tim, that's like saying you move from penal to correction and it's managed just like penal system. All right, let's see if we have some more of your messages coming in. What somebody says. So Richard Frederick really went to the party which caused him to lose his visa. Nobody saw something strange. Okay. All right. Do we have messages, Kimani?
In the chat room, yes, we do. Someone says outside officers need to come to St. Lucia to train them to be better police officers. Another comment, more weapons have been confiscated on our ports. What's going on in St. Lucia? Tim, do you know our passports are still in a dilemma? When one goes to renew his or her passport, immigration is asking you to get a medical certificate. Are we being held as hostages in this country? Another comment, restructure is the better form. Someone says, sometimes the police you trust most, that's the one that will give out the information. Rebranding to continue to give MPs information. Someone is asking, do we have a 911 centralized call center? Another comment, I agree with the minister, they need to stop the backdoor entry into the force. Since the introduction of SPCs, we get people who are not qualified based on academic and character making their way to the force through this route because of high-ranking connections. Please, Minister, stop this practice. Someone is asking, how are we going to do this rebranding? Changing the name has been done with everything else, such as changing village tourism to community tourism. Another comment, how about better training for police officers?
I think we have our first call online via WhatsApp. Hello and good afternoon to you. This is Newspin. You are on the air.
Good afternoon, Tim. How are you?
I'm okay, caller. Good afternoon to you.
Tim, for many times I've been calling this program and I keep saying to you that the people that we have at the helm of our institutions are the very same ones that are destroying the fabric of this country. Tim, we have a newly appointed police commissioner, right?
Beg your pardon?
And this, we have a newly appointed police commissioner.
Yes.
And this issue where a minister can blatantly expose the Royal St. Lucia Police Force in such manner, and nothing has been said in the interest, apart from the gentleman, what's his name, that just came on Shannon Labon to talk about it.
I think we had Mr. Cameron Law on the 3-7 in the morning, right here on Power 97.
Yeah. Mr. Cameron Law, that's the guy, that's the gentleman I was.
President of the PWA, yeah.
We haven't heard not a single word from those that we put in charge to actually protect those institutions. Now, Tim, we have to be honest and not become hypocrites because of politicians. Tim, the people that we tend to elect, these people are not in the interest of our country. You see, you cannot tell me we keep electing people that bring division to the fabric of our nation. Because without the people, Tim, there is no country, you know. And we keep supporting the mediocrity by these politicians. Because these politicians, all you keep hearing them saying is about going after this guy, going after this one. Tim, we cannot continue like this. I have said that many times on your show. if we continue in such manner, team, we most of us, whether we in the diaspora or in the Lucia team, we would wish that we would have a country where we can come back to, or maybe our kids or our grandkids can actually thrive in. We need to stand up against those who tend to bully the people of this country. You know, we cannot continue in that manner. You know, we cannot. Thank you very much, Tim.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. Kimani, I think you have some more comments extracted from the chat room.
I do. St. Lucia, gun violence can never end unless you charge the lawmakers, police, and business people who bring them in and give to criminals. Tim, only in St. Lucia. In any developing country, heads would roll, including the police commissioners. If this is true, the commissioner should investigate this and provide a public official report on their findings. The hypocrisy of us St. Lucians. No wonder we have all those crimes. We don't give the police officers information and blame the police. One was caught yesterday at Portview Fort clearing an arsenal in a barrel. Another comment, rebranding is a poor choice of word. A corrupt police force cannot be rebranded. It needs to be completely transformed. Changing brands and not training them is not it, including training them to become more professional. Someone says you are heard in India and Japan. And someone in Viewfort says we need our health center open. And listening to you, Tim from France.
All right. Thank you so much. I think we have a call via... No, 452-2979. 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, and that's 716-2026. Somebody says, Tim, I do not trust none of our police officers. I do not trust our police officers. Another comment. Tim, the new name is the St. Lucia Corrupt Police Academy. The St. Lucia Corrupt Police Academy, LOL. Oh, somebody said, I feel like Rick has no respect for you. Day before yesterday, you invited him on several occasions to be the guest on your show yesterday, and he never answered. He did not show up yesterday, and you know what? He did not even call the show either. Shaking my head. Well, that is not the case. As a matter of fact, I spoke with Rick, I think either yesterday or sometime on Monday afternoon, and he told me that he could not appear on the program. Now, it's my fault. My error. I did not, at the commencement of the broadcast yesterday, inform you, the audience, that Rick Wayne would not be able to appear on the program in person. So, it's not his fault. It's mine. All right? 452-2979, 452-2979, along with your WhatsApp calls and messages at 716-2026. At 716-2026. Okay, somebody says, Tim, police officers are involved in all illegal activities. Now, I like to defend the police. It's not all the police officers. I mean, we have a few rotten apples in the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. But to label all police officers corrupt, certainly that is not true. We have a call, 452-2979. Good afternoon to you. You are on the air. Hello.
Tim, serves you right.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon to you, Rick.
Serves you right to allow your people to go out and blaming it on me as well.
Yeah, but I had to read the message and clear the air.
Let me, with my octogenarian memory, remind you that I called you the same day, later on after your show, to make my excuse why I couldn't do it.
You did.
And yes, we did talk about something else yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So, just want to show you that memory has nothing to do with age.
But some people really, I think some people are really looking. Yeah, some people are really looking forward to your appearance on the program yesterday.
Well, I keep them waiting, Tim. That a lot of stuff is developing, and it's best to allow them to develop. Don't count the chickens before.
Yeah.
Tim, something occurred to me. You remember Herman Francis? He had some problems, some domestic problems with his wife. I don't want to start opening up now. to be fair to him, he has openly talked about it many times, right?
Yes, yes.
That interfered with his career. It also was the reason why he ended up going to UWI to do a law degree that on my show he said he wasn't keen on, but it was Kenny's gift to him to take him out there. Instead of running him as a candidate, he sent him to UWI to get his law degree. Interestingly, his law professor was Kenny's wife.
Yeah.
Very interesting. But the point I want to make is that Kenny Anthony said at the time that Herman Gill could not credibly hold the situation of the position of leader of the crime unit of the police force when he was himself, I'm quoting, the subject of a criminal investigation. Okay?
Yeah.
Does that ring any kind of bell to you?
I remember the comment being made.
Well, I'm telling you, Kenny Anthony decided that a certain thing was to be investigated. Well, the police decided something was worth investigating. And in the meantime, Herman could not continue. In other words, if a police officer is under investigation, that police officer should be required to stand down, and we have precedent for it. That's the point I want to make. Now, I don't know how far we have gotten, but we had this situation with the police commissioner who was holding on.
Was that Philip? Does the acting?
Your phone is very quiet.
Yeah, the acting police commissioner, Ronald Phillip.
Yeah.
Ronald Phillip.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I understand the gentleman is on a course, which I suppose you could say Herman Gill was doing the same thing.
Yes.
Was sent on a course to UWI.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems when there are allegations, serious allegations against you in the police force, they send you on a course.
Is what kind of course?
Well, it doesn't matter what kind of course. It's ironic that if Herman Gill was being investigated for criminal behavior, quote unquote, not mine, that he should be sent to learn law at UWI at taxpayers' expense.
Instead of what? What will be the alternative? Send him packing or discipline him in one way or the other?
Let him go on leave, maybe pay his salary, and until investigation is cleared one way or another. No?
Yeah.
But that's not what happened. And this gentleman here, the normal thing would be to send him on, if there's enough reason, to send him on leave while the investigation goes on. But, you know, we learn nothing, and the contempt for the people of this country by politicians. I don't want to say it's just one set of politicians, because at the end of the day, the changes we make cannot apply only to one party. We have to change the method of operation of politicians in this country if we are to go anywhere.
So in other words, ensure that the system works, because we have systems in place for this, eh?
Well,
it's not merely Rick. What is at stake? There's not the actions of politicians, but the fact that we do not enforce regulations and laws that would be accompanied by various systems to ensure that, for example, the public service functions in an efficient and professional manner. And what happens in the public service if, for example, a public sector worker is found wanting for one reason or the other, they are transformed from department to department until they retire, or they're sent home for months or years and they're getting their full salary.
Tim, you know, our situation is such that we don't even have to speculate, you know. It's just a matter of contempt for a people. And when I speak like that, I open myself up to public mépris, which I don't give a damn about. and which I'm impervious to. But there are other things, When you have a falling out with a minister in this country, what he says outside is only the tip of the iceberg of how he can affect your life personally, or your relatives, or your children's future. You with me?
Yeah.
All of those things, we should remind somebody trying to call me tonight. But anyway, we should understand that when I don't know how to get rid of that.
But just ignore it and continue.
Okay, I did.
Yeah.
I did. Boy, it's technology. When a politician vents at your expense, that's only the tip of the iceberg, I want your people on the chat room to quit the hey, you there? You just come. You got to stop this stupidity and concentrate on the meat of what is being discussed in your interest, whether you are in the diaspora or whether you have children and other dependents in St. Lucia. When a politician in or out of parliament in any way threatens or in any way speaks to you in an intimidating fashion, you are supposed to presume for your own safety that you better gear up yourself, because he can go back to his office and screw you left, right, and center with no grease.
Take, for example, if you're seeking concessions for a business.
Right.
And that is brought before cabinet. And those guys are saying, boy, this is a guy who is always calling the talk show and who is always critical
Correct.
of us and so on. Why should we do him that favor when, as a citizen, there is a scholarship you qualify, or scholarship, yeah,
or something coming up, you will be shafted no matter how deserving you are. And I don't want to say that is what one party practices. It has been the practice here for a long time, and it is perpetuated. The only reason it stays in place is because we have a dumb population that doesn't even realize they are getting kicked in the gonads. That's what's going on, because the people support that stuff in the interest of the party and not even cognizant of the fact that they are hurting themselves. The supporters of the party, they're hurting themselves, etc. So, we have these precedents that we don't pay attention to, and we use the chat rooms of shows to exchange greetings and talk foolishness. And this is not a time for foolishness. We are in serious trouble in this country. I've been saying so for years, and the trouble gets worse and worse every day. Now, I want to also say, oh, by the way, Tim, that was an interesting comment of yours, that the minister and branding.
Rebranding.
It must not be cosmetic. I thought that was an interesting comment, considering that many consider the minister herself a cosmetic. The minister. I mean, she certainly is St. Lucia's most best known wig stand. I mean, the wigs just keep coming. I just thought I'd try a little levity. On a more serious note, Tim, senators, members of parliament, people with any kind of political authority, yellow, red, or blue, it is a very, very dangerous practice to call for the arrest of anyone, whether the leader of opposition, Rick Wayne, or Timothy Poleon. It's a very, very dangerous practice to do that. It's highly irresponsible, and it can cause a lot of problems for senators to be calling out for the arrest of people. A little while ago, we had a situation with Christopher Hunt. I don't know how that was settled, but it was highly controversial. Remember that?
Yes.
And now you have the people from the same party who complained rightly about it, or whatever was wrong, because we never heard the resolution. If there was anything wrong in that arrest, because he never went to court for us to be able to say exactly what happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When senators from this government side are themselves calling on for police arrest of their political opponents, this is exactly what they were preaching against when Christopher Hunt was arrested. So it was bad then. It is worse now because we haven't learned from it. And what really, really bothers me, that woman who should be an exemplar is an example. It seems to me to be encouraging the worst aspects of life in St. Lucia. I'm talking about this Senator Jean, whatever her first name is. Everybody was in sympathy with the woman when her son was shot by a policewoman. Not only has she lost her voice where women are abused in St. Lucia, where women are killed in St. Lucia, she has nada to say. Of all people, I would have thought she would be leading all kinds of vigils and protests against the way women are treated in this country, particularly, but also when the police are not acting according to law. And she should be the one calling for investigations rather than inventing new names, ridiculous names for our Prime Minister, Moses and all that kind of crap. That woman lost her son at the point of a police person's gun illegally. So you would think with any suspicion involving the police, especially when where death is concerned, or threat of death, you would think that woman would be leading the charge, to coin a phrase, for an investigation, for clarity, etc. You would think so, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Have you heard from what's her name?
Who's that? Dr. Allison?
Because
Allison Jean? Allison Jean?
What's that?
Are you referring to Allison Jean?
Allison Jean, writing nonsense on, well, I don't want to call it nonsense. Writing inflammatory stuff on Facebook as a senator, a particular senator with a particular background. I'm talking about the unfortunate killing of her son
Both of them,
by
Jean.
a police officer, a rogue police officer. So we have all those examples, Tim. But we're doing nothing about it. Nothing about it. This country cannot take much more of that. And nobody's asking anybody to resign or do this or that. I am not into that. I am saying investigate problems. When you've investigated the problem, you act according to law. But you cannot say, where's the evidence? I have no evidence. Because the evidence will come from investigating. It's not the other way around that you claim to have evidence. And then you start talking about investigation.
Yeah, but an investigation in St. Lucia is another word for saying case closed.
Forget about it.
Case closed. Nothing will come out of it.
It's another way of insulting the public intelligence.
Yeah.
By saying, forget about it. Get lost. Get lost. I told you, you owe it to this country to form a list of the last 10 years, how many people have been killed in their homes, raped and murdered, etc., and how many of those matters have been resolved. You owe it to your listeners to read that, because a lot of people are getting away. Politicians on both sides of the fence have a lot of questions to answer, like there are numerous questions still to be answered about impacts, the police force, and various things related to that. And until that is done, the best efforts of the police force will go down the toilet, because the people have every reason right now not to trust the police. A horrible situation. I want to trust my policeman. I want to be able to pick up my phone and say something to my police officer that is going to stay in the precinct. Evidently, we now have reason not to believe that. So St. Lucia is on the brink of chaos, on the brink of getting to a situation like you have in Haiti, where the criminals, 80% of the city is controlled by criminals. St. Lucians, you've been warned again. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Rick Wayne, still to come on the broadcast, we'll be hearing from Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre. He says that amidst all the complaining, St. Lucia is not all that bad. This is Newspin right here on Power 97.9 FM. We are also on the Newspin Facebook page and YouTube. You are watching and listening to the most monitored talk show in the world, Newspin.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidboutet at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Introducing the new LuSelect Virtual Service Desk, where one click is your access to every service. From My Account to streetlight reports, requests for payment arrangements to settle arrears, change of name and address. Easy online forms give you access from anywhere and at any time. Every service you need at your fingertips. Go to our website, luselect.com, and click on the Virtual Service Desk widget. LuSelect's Virtual Service Desk. Every solution at your fingertips.
And he's done it! He's done it! And my goodness, it's gone.
The party is back! Premier Sports Inc. presents the KFC SPL T20. Powered by the National Lotteries Authority. Will defending champions Choiseul Craft Masters retain their crown? Or will they be pulled down?
Oh, it's straightforward. Perfection.
From October 13th to the 28th at the Darren Sammy Cricket Grounds and Groseley Playing Field. Grab your tickets now. Sol Gas Station in Groseley, Amici Restaurant and Bar in Rodney Bay, Riverside Car Park in Castries, Soufre Foundation in Soufre, Monrepo, Choiseul, and Labrie Credit Union. Tickets are only $15 for adults, $5 for children. VIP $65 and $85. The party is back! The KFC SPL T20. Powered by the National Lotteries Authority. Show them how to party.
Things are heating up at the National Farmers and General Workers Credit Union Limited. We've got some red-hot deals just for you with 100% financing. Rev up for some excitement with our incredible vehicle loan offer. Building or renovating, we've got you covered. Or pack up for that ideal getaway. This offer won't be available forever. Visit us today and take advantage of this limited time deal. Don't miss out on these fantastic deals with 100% financing. Only at the National Farmers and General Workers Credit Union Limited. We're your friend when you're in need.
The Ministry of Commerce, in collaboration with the Embassy of the Republic of China, Taiwan, presents the 16th Annual St. Lucia Taiwan Partnership Trade Show at the Pavilion on the ramp in Rodney Bay, Groseley, from Friday, November 3rd to Sunday, November 5th, 2023, from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. daily. Come, support the creativity of 69 local entrepreneurs and 16 Taiwanese businesses, including ICT and business solutions, food and beverage, and so much more. more. We will be hosting lots of fun games and activities for kids. Relax and enjoy the nightly live entertainment. Saturday features carefree karaoke with fantastic prizes up for grabs. Then on Sunday, we culminate in grand style with a strictly local fashion show and live comedy from Cook's Productions. Don't miss out. Free shuttle service provided from the Baywalk Shopping Mall and back. Come witness the emergence of our next generation of entrepreneurs.
Fast Pay, a new and easy way to pay. Fast Pay, Fast Pay.
You asked for it and you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering FastPay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes. Need a receipt? FastPay will send it to your email immediately. Use FastPay now for convenience, safety, and efficiency at discoverflow.co/fastpay.
Flow Fast Pay, 2 minutes and you're on your way. Flow Fast Pay, Flow Fast Pay.
Flow is keeping you connected.
Night Meds is your dependable neighborhood pharmacy. You'll notice that upon entry, you are greeted by caring professional staff, attentive to your every need. Your prescriptions are always treated with a high degree of confidentiality, and we pride ourselves on providing speedy, efficient service. We carry a wide array commonly requested over-the-counter products, and our prices are very competitive. We offer blood pressure testing, blood sugar, and cholesterol testing. We're open to fill your prescriptions Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Come visit Sadhu's gas station on the Miku Highway or call us at 572-6840 or WhatsApp 461-6840 for more information. Night Meds Pharmacy. We are your community med store.
Can't get a break from all this tax? Head to Automotive Art and get a taxcation. Automotive Art is offering you an ease from VAT and health and safety levy with savings of up to 15% and more. That's right, 15% of all tools, 15% of all accessories, 15% of car detailing, 15% of all rims, 15% of computerized wheel alignment, and 15% and more of selected tires with savings of up to 30% on some sizes. It's Automotive Art Taxcation. Visit us at Automotive Art at Vidbuchai Castries and Latuni Vieux today and enjoy a taxcation. Offer valid for limited time. Some conditions apply. See stores for details.
Are you working that 9-to-5 job but also juggling a side hustle? Well, Elks Credit Union has great news for you. Introducing Elks Credit Union Side Hustle Boost Loan. Need funds to take your side hustle to the next level? With our Side Hustle Boost Loan, you can access up to $50,000, giving your side hustle the boost it needs. And here's the best part. You'll have up to 5 years to pay it back with flexible repayment options that suits your budget. Whether it's expanding your inventory, upgrading your equipment, or marketing your services, Elks Credit Union is here to support your entrepreneurial dreams. Don't let your side hustle remain just a dream. Let Elks Credit Union empower you to turn it into a thriving reality. Boost your side hustle today with Elks Credit Union's Side Hustle Boost Loan. Contact us now or visit our website for more information. Elks Credit Union, your partner in success. Terms and conditions apply.
It's coming. The brunch of the century. Welcome to Sunburnt. Sunday, November 26th. Sunburnt. It's coming.
Tuning for calls at 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. We have a WhatsApp call. Hello and good afternoon to you. This is Newspin. You are on the air. Hello.
Hi, good afternoon. Is this Tim?
Yes, good afternoon to you, Mr. Francis. You are on the air.
Yes, good afternoon, Tim.
Good afternoon to you.
I was listening to your show.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard my friend Rick trying to make a comparison between my issue and that of Mr. Philip.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are a few things that I need to correct in this piece that he talked about.
Go right
and
ahead.
So I'll give you the chronology because knowledge of what happened. Okay?
Okay, go ahead.
My wife in answering never made a report to the police.
Are you there? Okay, the call is reconnecting because we are speaking with him via WhatsApp. Once again, Mr. Herman Francis. Yeah, former senior police officer. Yeah, go ahead. You have to start from the beginning because the call is reconnecting.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Well, Tim, I was saying I heard my friend Rick talking about and making a comparison between my incident and that of Ronald Phillip.
Yeah.
But I want the public to know that my wife from Antwerp never made any report against me to the police. You heard me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Right. Rick was the one who wrote in his newspaper on the Star indicating that some senior officer had assaulted his wife. When my wife read the newspaper, she immediately called Rick and told Rick how did he get to write that sort of thing about her husband. And as a matter of fact, she was going to sue him. I immediately received a visit from my brother, Claudius Francis, and at the time he was in the company of Ernest. He came to Answer to speak to me. And he told me that Rick had informed him that when he was speaking to me, to tell me to forget about this suit because he's no longer going to write anything about this incident anymore. He promised that he would not. So I was able to convince my wife to allow that to rest. What happened is Neil Parker, who was the Canadian police officer, he was deputy commissioner at the time, having read the Star, he indicated that this was in the public domain and that it should be investigated. And I agreed with him, rightly so, should investigate. Parker was informed by the Commissioner, Mr. Nelson, at the time that there was no official report to me and that there should be no investigation. Mr. Parker insisted that he was going to do it. At a meeting with Mr. Nelson, myself and other senior officers, I told Mr. Nelson to allow the government to do what he was supposed to do because I felt that this was in the public's domain and that Mr. Parker should do all his investigations. Mr. Parker even collected a statement from Kenny Anthony. Okay. My ex-wife also visited Kenny Anthony in Beaufort on his constituency day and told Kenny Anthony that I was not at fault for anything that had happened, and all she was asking him to do was to speak to me, that I could stay with her instead of being with my present wife. Kenny informed her that this was a personal matter and he could not get involved with it. Had she been making a report against me for assault, then he would have had an investigation done. I then went to have the interview of the Commissioner of Police. And Tim, not one question was asked of me by the persons who were interviewed me for the position of police at the time. Mr. King was the chairman. And after the meeting, Mr. King told me that he got specific instructions from Kenny Anthony that no questions pertaining to that incident would be asked me because I knew I was to sue them, but they were not against me. Later on, I got to know, and Mr. Parker, when he was leaving, gave me a book on management. He signed it for me. And he told me, Human Gill, you have to be very, very, very careful with the police force. There were at least 2 senior officers who were pushing Mr. Parker to do that investigation because they felt that as long as I was under that cloud, I would not have become commissioner, and the chances for them becoming commissioner would be better. Mr. Parker himself admitted that he loves St. Lucia so much that he wanted to stay in St. Lucia, and by having me out of the way, he could have ascended to the rank of commissioner. So, my brother, I want to tell Rick, and I'm sure Rick, if he's listening, that he will call and substantiate everything that I said. I have since been speaking to Rick, Rick and myself are very good friends because at the time that he wrote that article, his own brother, Martin Carrasco, who had applied for the position at the time. So I felt maybe that he was trying to boost his brother's position. But I have nothing against Rick. Rick, as a journalist, when you hear these things, you must exploit the individual, you are public figure, you must come out and explain it. I have done this on a number of occasions too. And I will continue to try to tell my name because I am being unfair. It is. It is. This one I said it. There are several women who have made reports against him. Okay? There's an affidavit there against him. So please do not compare my situation with what it's only at the end of the day, the Special Labour Party at the time felt badly because they figured that I was not given a fair chance. And then they asked me what I wanted to go and study. I said, okay, I will go, allowing the process to continue. Okay? So that is the case of my situation.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. You just heard there from former Deputy Police Commissioner, Mr. Herman Francis, giving his account of events which occurred and reacting in particular to comments that were made earlier on by Rick Wayne. Let's continue with your calls at 452-2979, 452-2979. We have a call in line. Good afternoon to you. This is Newspin. You are on the air.
Wow.
Hello? Yes, Rick.
I know I don't normally call twice, but I'm sure your listeners wouldn't mind a couple more words from me.
Yeah, go ahead.
Much of what Herman Gill says there is true, but you must remember I operated an editorial department, and that people who come there and interview me, especially when the stories are explosive, they can be witness to it and everything else. The story itself was written. I have never received any letter, law, or whatever, because whatever I would have written there, I would have been able to prove. Also, and Herman Gill and I are good friends, by the way. He's right on that. Herman Gill has himself on several occasions on public platforms explained why he didn't become commissioner. Kenny Anthony has written, in fact, I'm looking at the article right now, where Kenny Anthony was talking about how Herman Gill got to go and study law. I made a whole show out of that, bringing Herman Gill on the show. Those records are there. So I'm not there comparing what, and you notice how careful I was saying a family dispute. I didn't go into anything. It's Kenny who used those words, Kenny Anthony who said, it was thought Francis, I'm reading it, it was thought Francis could not head the crime unit since he himself was the subject of a criminal investigation for assault. Kenny Anthony said that. And that was published, all the way 2021, June 7, 2021.
2021 or 2001?
2002. Yes. I guess it's 2001.
Yeah.
Sorry. 2001. Okay? So I didn't call that to castigate him. I'm saying to you, and Kenny Anthony has explained how Herman Gill got to UE,
Yeah.
I did a whole show on that, and Herman Gill himself said how he got to UE. You might remember that.
Yes, I remember.
Of course. So it's not speaking out of turn. But what I was pointing out was Kenny Anthony said this sent Herman Gill, according to what Kenny Anthony is saying, sent him to UE. And there was no investigation as far as I know. And the other guy, no investigation as far as I know, is on a course. That's the only thing I was saying, But I don't want to go into challenging what Herman says, because unlike Herman, I have everything recorded, my interviews and all that kind of stuff. So that's not the issue of proving Herman Gill to be forgetting the details, etc. I mean, where would I come up crazy? I've never met Herman Gill's wife, don't know her personally. She came to the office with a complaint, and she also went to Kenny, and what followed, Kenny spoke about it more than one time. And Herman Gill himself has given versions of it that are fairly close to the truth from political platforms. And then came the last occasion was when I had him as a guest on my show. So the only point I wanted to make was how the police force treats its problems. And that's why people are losing more and more faith in police policy and the prime ministers and so on. So I don't mean to castigate Herman Gill at all. He's my friend and I have a lot of time for him.
All right, Rick. Thank you so much. So somebody says they imagine Neil Parker years ago choosing to investigate a matter involving police officers. That was reported by a newspaper many years ago, and now people are asking for reports to be made about police officers before there can be an investigation. How ironic, shaking my head. What's in the chat room, Kimani?
Someone says, if only we can put these political colors aside and respect our institution, we will see a big change. Someone says, I really need a taxation. Another comment, the PM is dreaming. What is he waiting for him to realize the magnitude of the problem? The country is in serious trouble. Someone is asking, was there an investigation for the incident in Denver that resulted in the death of a senior citizen when an ambulance crashed into a house?
Well, that is still under investigation, but I think it's about time we get an update from if it's not the Home Affairs Ministry or the police or the St. Lucia Fire Service. I think this happened, 3 weeks ago?
Someone says, I believe that the Labour Party is not the problem, but the new members are the real problems. What passes for government is sad. These guys believe that because they are in office, it gives them the right to do as they please. This is a dangerous precedent that is being set. Tim, I'm not saying our police force is perfect, but we the people should respect our police officers in spite of it. Another comment, not all the police are bad, but if the good ones are not saying or doing anything about what is wrong, tell me, how would you class them?
I think we have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon to you. This is Newspin. You're on the air. Hello.
Hey, hello, Tim. Okay, Manny.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
Hi, good afternoon.
Yes. Tim, my question, which has been trickling at the back of my mind for the longest while, in relation to the horse race that they're doing for Creole Day in the south of the island. My question is that, did they ever or have they ever spoken about why they can't use the DSH horse race track?
No, I've not heard anything on that. Only that they are using some of the location known as the Kakabef. Work is being carried out there, and I don't know if they could have utilized the other racetrack, the one that was constructed by DSH.
That's right. So my question is that why? And I don't know. I'm very objective on it. Why can't they use it? I mean, if it's there, it's not in use as of now. Whether it's a private entity or what's the proposal that must bring forward for locals to at least use it? And thinking of Creole Heritage Month, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know why. At the end of the day, we would go ahead, not thinking at the end of the day, yes, Reno might be doing for free. Don't get me wrong, I mean, Reno is a good businessman, but thinking why they would go and build a new one without using the one that we have there already, that is already established.
Well, that's a question for the authorities, so we hope the organizers can answer that question and they would take the opportunity to call before we conclude our program today.
All right, thank you so much, Tim.
All right, thank you so much. Any more comments in the chat room?
Someone says, this is disgusting, the lawmakers spitting on the laws. Another comment, Lord help us, we cried corruption every day and today it's now in our face and we can do nothing about it. Let's see what else we have in the chat room. Someone says, well, that's it.
Okay, thank you so much. Still to come on the program, we'll be hearing from the Prime Minister. St. Lucia is not that bad. You're watching Newspin on our Newspin Facebook page. We are also on YouTube, and you're listening on Power 97.9 FM.
There is only one option when they arrive. Our services will make the dead look alive. With Bouteille and Beaufort accessibility. Remember, we have the only private cemetery. No one can match our prices service from coffin to corsage. Personalized service you get when Lazarus take charge. Quality service, no package to make your wallet bleed. Lazarus is your true friend in your time of need.
Introducing the new LuSelect Virtual Service Desk, where one click is your access to every service. From my account to streetlight reports, requests for payment arrangements to settle arrears, change of name and address. Easy online forms give you access from anywhere and at any time. Every service you need at your fingertips. Go to our website, luselect.com, and click on the Virtual Service Desk widget. LuSelect's Virtual Service Desk. Every solution at your fingertips.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Things are heating up at the National Farmers and General Workers Credit Union Limited. We've got some red-hot deals just for you with 100% financing. Rev up for some excitement with our incredible vehicle loan offer. Building or renovating, we've got you covered. Or pack up for that ideal getaway. This offer won't be available forever. Visit us today and take advantage of this limited time deal. Don't miss out on these fantastic deals with 100% financing. Only at the National Farmers and General Workers Credit Union Limited. We're your friend when you're in need.
Fast pay, a new and easy way to pay. Fast pay, fast pay.
You asked for it and you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering FastPay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes. Need a receipt? FastPay will send it to your email immediately. Use FastPay now for convenience, safety, and efficiency at discoverflow.co/fastpay.
Fast pay, 2 minutes and you're on your way. Fast pay, fast pay.
Flow is keeping you connected.
And he's done it! He's done it! And my goodness, it's gone.
The party is back! Premier Sports Inc. presents the KMC SPL T20. Powered by the National Lotteries Authority. Will defending champions Choiseul Craft Masters retain their crown? Or will they be pulled down?
Oh, it's that point! Perfection!
From October 13th to the 28th at the Darren Sammy Cricket Grounds and Grosley Playing Field. Grab your tickets now. Fall Gas Station in Grosley, Amici Restaurant and Bar in Rodney Bay, Riverside Car Park in Castries, Soufre Foundation in Soufre, Monrepo, Choiseul, and Labrie Credit Union. Tickets are only $15 for adults, $5 for children. VIP $65 and $85. The party is back! The KMC SPL T20, powered by the National Lotteries Authority. Show them how to party.
Mama St. Lucie, écoutez, on Saturday, October 28th, Project Chocolat is the place to be for Fête Creole. Starting from 7 p.m., we're serving up Creole food so divine, you'll want seconds. Entertainment by Wule Tete Solo Group, the ever-electrifying Extreme Band, DJ Rimo, and more. Tickets are $70 for adults over 18. 13 to 18 years pay half price at the door. Timu, little ones, 12 and under, enter free. It's about family, delicious food, and true Lucian spirits. Fini, celebrate Fête Creole avec nous at Project Chocolat.
Can't get a break from all this tax? Head to Automotive Art and get a taxcation. Automotive Art is offering you an ease from VAT and health and safety levy with savings of up to 15% and more. That's right, 15% of all tools, 15% of all accessories, 15% of car detailing, 15% of all rims, 15% of computerized wheel alignment, and 15% and more of selected tires with savings of up to 30% on some sizes. It's Automotive Art Taxcation. Visit us at Automotive Art at Vidbutai Castries and Latuni Vieux today and enjoy a taxcation. Offer valid for limited time. Some conditions apply. See stores for details.
Are you working that 9-to-5 job but also juggling a side hustle? Well, Elks Credit Union has great news for you. Introducing Elks Credit Union Side Hustle Boost Loan. Need funds to take your side hustle to the next level? With our Side Hustle Boost Loan, you can access up to $50,000, giving your side hustle the boost it needs. And here's the best part. You'll have up to 5 years to pay it back with flexible repayment options that suits your budget. Whether it's expanding your inventory, upgrading your equipment, or marketing your services, Elks Credit Union is here to support your entrepreneurial dreams. Don't let your side hustle remain just a dream. Let Elks Credit Union empower you to turn it into a thriving reality. Boost your side hustle today with Elks Credit Union's Side Hustle Boost Loan. Contact us now or visit our website for more information. Elks Credit Union, your partner in success. Terms and conditions apply.
It's coming. The brunch of the century. Welcome to Sunburnt. Sunday, November 26th. Sunburnt. Sunburnt. It's coming.
Continue with your calls. I think we have a WhatsApp call right now. Hello and good afternoon to you. This is Newspin. You are on the air. Hello. I think we have some. We'll try to put the call on the air. Just please bear with us. Momentarily, we'll have that person going on the air to make his contribution. As we continue our broadcast right here on Power 97.9 FM. We are also on YouTube and the Newspin Facebook page. I think we have managed to rectify the problem. Good afternoon, Newspin. You are on the air.
Hi, Tim. Good afternoon.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm okay, sir. Mr. Peter Josie, good afternoon to you, sir. What's in your mind?
You always mention my name, right? You like that name?
Well, I want people to know
Timothy,
that it's Peter Josie. Yeah, go
Timothy,
ahead. Yes, sir.
I have said on several radio stations, I've written about it in the last 40 years, and I will repeat one of the things that I've consistently said. I like politics, and I tend to be partial towards politicians. I think it is important for me to make that point because politics is neither good nor evil. But if people who are not properly socialized, if they are dishonest, if they're crooked, and they get into politics, there will be opportunities for them to corrupt the political system, no matter how well it may be oiled and prepared. That is a point I want people to understand. Because in my long years serving in politics, both in opposition and in government, I have met many honest and honorable men and women. I have also met some despicable and dishonest ones as well. And I will leave that now for the time being. The main reason I called Timothy is to say to you and your listeners, I want to give a bit of history of horse racing in Beaufort. I was born at Latuni in Beaufort. That's just before Dormont. And as a little 8-year-old boy, I remember we had a nice horse racing track. And there was a pavilion, all wooden, well constructed. And there used to be regular horse racing there at that time. That is almost at the junction of that airport, the beginning of the airport, the modern airport, the runway, and the Labrie Junction, the road going to Labrie, and the road going to Latuni from there. The road to Latuni is no longer motorable. When that was dismantled, years after it was dismantled, my grandfather had a horse and sitting next to runway C, where they have And it's remarkable, every time the modern solution come to name something, it's always some stupid bacchanal kakabef or sabo kind of nonsense they give to the name. So where they're going now is a place I thought I heard Dr. Anthony say that what Joachim was proposing for St. Lucia, and which he, Dr. Anthony, seemed to have agreed to build, was going to raise the horse racing stake at Beaufort, the facilities, everything. For the first time, St. Lucia and Beaufort was going to have a modern horse racing stake. Some while ago, and that's a question I wanted to pose myself, but obviously you can't answer because I don't know the answer. I don't seem to know the answer. Why? But I will ask the question again anyway. Why can't we as St. Lucians use that runway, since we were told by Dr. Anthony and his Labour people, Labour government, that it was St. Lucia's money that was used by Joachim to build that horse race park? So that is the first question. And it seems to me, once there is the Labour Party mind of operating in St. Lucia, we are always going back to where we came from instead of advancing and making progress. The same thing I can say about St. Jude Hospital. I can say the same thing which I just said about runway C, which people like to call the Kakabek. I refuse to call it that except to let people know that the Americans left us with 3 runways. Runway A, which is now the main runway, runway B, which was next to it, and then runway C. The Americans also left us St. Jude Hospital. There was a fire years ago. St. Jude Hospital became a shadow of itself. And when Alan Shasta got into office, he saw what was going on. He made a decision that was not the modern hospital that St. Lucia and Beaufort needed at that time. So he started a hospital. Unfortunately, the pandemic prevented him from finishing that hospital, from completing it. You would have thought that a government that is looking forward would have seen that the mess they made at St. Jude, and I hope to God that Guy Joseph, I'm almost certain, has some footage on the mess up work that was being done to St. Jude. And you see the comparison between St. Jude Hospital and the runway at near the airport. And of course, I'm not even going to mention the airport terminal. There's something else I have to place on record firmly. I like Alan Shasta from the time Sir John Compton appointed him Minister of Tourism, because I knew enough about him to know that he understood the tourist industry, he understood air travel, he understood travel by sea, and he would make a contribution, a positive contribution to the development of tourism in St. Lucia. Today, after observing him work with Sir John, after observing him as Prime Minister, I would say without fear of contradiction that my liking for Alan Shasta has been transformed from like to love. That is a guy I love. And you know what? I heard him and watched him perform at the last match they had there, the match for St. Jude. And this is the leader. That's the only thing he was missing. I like the passion. You cannot be in politics, as far as I'm concerned, unless you bear your soul. When you speak in public, people must feel that you're speaking from your guts. That is what Alan was doing. And you know something? That is the kind of man I want to lead St. Lucia. Speak with energy. Speak with purpose. Most of all, speak the truth. Finally, somebody asked me, Mr. Josie, next time you speak to Timothy, I want you to say something for me. Not for yourself, but for me. Ask Timothy, for me, whether Central Castries, where the 4-story building was, the CDC building, whether that has become a car park, and when are they going to ever build a new CDP for housing the people of Central Castries? or should we declare Catskill Central Capac City? Okay, but that's not for me. That's for a guy who asked me today if I speak to Timothy to say that. Okay, Timothy?
Okay, Mr.
I
Josie.
wanted to thank you before I leave and to say that this business of horse racing has a history in St. Lucia, right? St. Jude Hospital has a history. And we must understand that if we have to understand the difference or differences between the thinking of Alan Shastley and the backward thinking of Dr. Anthony and his acolytes. I thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. You just heard there from former MP for VA4 South, Mr. Peter Josie. So let's hear from Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre. And it was just yesterday, I think, the GIS did play a presentation where there was a loan grant signing for Youth Economy Agency. And the Prime Minister took the opportunity to speak on what some people are complaining about in St. Lucia. And he ventured to say that things are not that bad as is being portrayed on the island.
Let's strive to improve our imperfections and get better. Let's try to look at the glass half full. Let's cut off the negativity. Let's cut off the prophets of doom and prophets of young people at this and crime and let's have a nation that's a lot more positive.
Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre once again speaking during a loan grant signing for Youth Economy Agency. So we continue with your calls and your WhatsApp messages and, of course, your discussions in the chat room. What's happening there, Kimani? Anything to report on?
We have a few comments in the chat room, but I will say to answer Mr. Josie's question, the housing minister did state that the location for Block X would be a temporary car park.
Yeah.
And he would provide some more information on what they would be doing with that space or lot in the future. But someone says, can I get this right? Did I hear that the individual in the police service who it is alleged has been accused of multiple cases of sexual harassment has been sent on some sort of employment-related training course? Did I get it right? Another comment in the chat room, someone says, Alison Jaw was happy to have the Prime Minister of a country coming to support her at her son's death. This made her look good. Now she has forgotten that Chas was there for. She's even asking for his arrest. Another comment in the chat room, someone says, the CEO of St. Jude has just issued the new rate for deposit to undergo surgery at St. Jude. Is that all what the SLP government calls universal health care? Another comment in the chat room that I don't know anything, Prime Minister. That's it, Tim.
I think we have a caller on WhatsApp. Good afternoon. This is Newspin. You're on the air.
Yes, Tim. Tim, one question to you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember what John Compton did a few years ago to clean up the police force? Do you remember him bringing in a chief of police from England?
Yes, we had a chief of police. Yes, I think we had some from the UK, but it was not Sir John Compton. I think it was during the reign of Dr. Kenny Anthony.
Tim, it was in the son of John Compton.
You're talking about Broughton? Broughton? I think it was under Kenny Anthony. Broughton?
Okay, so don't you think this would be a good idea for us to bring in a chief of police from overseas, somebody with no ties to St. Lucia, to clean up that police force?
Caller, based on what we're going through right now, in particular recent events, I think we need some outside assistance in terms of restructuring the Royal St. Lucia Police Force, particularly at the very top in terms of police commissioner, because we need people who are independent. People do not feel that they must consult the Prime Minister of the country when they have to make critical decisions. And we all know what happens in small island states like St. Lucia, where there's a lot of political interference, as we're discovering, in the operations of our Royal St. Lucia Police Force. So that will be a good start. And I honestly believe the majority of St. Lucians would support that. I don't know about the rank and file of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force, whether they will deem this to be acceptable, but I would like to hazard a guess and say that I'm sure that most St. Lucians would not mind having somebody from overseas, not to use the word foreigner, but somebody who's detached from the politics and the various controversies and so on in the Royal St. Lucia Police Force.
Correct, because I listen to your program every day. I live in the United States, and I follow your program every day, and I follow Solution News every single day. And it is crazy what I see every day. The Prime Minister is pathetic. I mean, the whole police force is corrupt. But then again, you would have to have the Prime Minister would have to okay or to bring in that outside entity. But would he do that? Because his hands are tied to his testicles. Because he has people who are corrupt in his, allegedly corrupt in his government. So where do we go from here?
We are in deep trouble, caller. That's what it is. We are in a dilemma. And when people tell you they are going to investigate and they'll report the findings at some point in time to you, members of the public, we all know what that amounts to. It amounts to nothing at all.
God bless. God pray for us, man.
Okay, caller. Thank you so much.
Have a good one.
Okay, thank you so much for calling from the U.S. I think we have another call via WhatsApp. This is Newspin. Good afternoon to you. You are on the air. Good afternoon to you, caller. Hello? Trying to get this WhatsApp call on the air? No? All right. I don't think that person... let's see. Try it again. Hello? Yes, good afternoon to you, caller.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Go ahead, please.
The problem with the police force is not with the commissioner. Bring somebody from the outside will make no difference. The middle management of the police force is where the problem is. And unless they can correct this, nothing will happen, nothing new will happen. And until we start realizing what the real problem with the police force, there are people in the police force who are constables for 28 and 30 years. Do you really expect these people to perform at any high level? I want the authorities to really understand, and the public to really understand what is our force really like. You understand me?
I'm listening to you, caller.
Yeah, well, this is just my contribution.
But why would you narrow the problem to middle management?
Because you bring a new commissioner, he or she will give instructions that will not be carried out.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of people in the police force who are unhappy with their pay. They have not got promotions, and really, they are surviving on 2 salaries. And I don't say this maliciously or in any bad way. I am just stating what I believe to be the truth. Understand?
All right, caller.
Okay.
Thank you so much. But I think it will take a lot to restructure the Royal St. Lucia Police Force and then to rebrand it and to cause it to basically be respected by the St. Lucian public, because I think over the years people have lost trust and faith in the Royal St. Lucia Police Force, and this is worsening by the minute. Let's see if we can get a final call via WhatsApp on the air. Let's see if we can get this call. Hello?
You said rebrand. Remember you said
I'm just
earlier.
I'm just saying restructure first. And then maybe you can rebrand.
Okay.
Final call. Good afternoon. This is Newspin. You're on the air.
Hi, good afternoon.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon to you.
This message is for Reno. His worker who damaged the worker who damaged the let me get the right word for that. In Opicon, he damaged the truck, went into the shelter there. He's fixing up the stuff on the base. So he really needs to fix that, please, because we need shelter.
So it's a bus shelter?
In the Opicon gap. Yeah, the bus shelter. One of his workers went into the structure and he haven't fixed it.
When was that?
A few months ago.
Okay, all right.
Yes, thank you.
All right, you're welcome, ma'am. Thank you so much. Any more comments in the chat room, Kimani?
Someone says we need people in the top management to clean out the middle management. Another comment in the chat room. Someone says bring Mr. Elwin Centros to assist. Another comment in the chat room. Timothy, I came to the conclusion in St. Lucia. St. Lucia doesn't know what they want. It's a clear statement that Alan Chastney is best to be the Prime Minister. Another comment in the chat room. Tim, Sir John Compton did bring in Hemingway as commissioner, a very knowledgeable individual. I learned a great deal from him. Tim, I totally agree with you. We need some outside help for our police force. Another comment. So is it the policy of the SLP government to reward police officers, senior ones at that, with further education rather than sending them on administrative leave like any right-thinking organization? This is abject stupidity. Another comment in the chat room. That's it, Tim.
All right, thank you so much. And final WhatsApp message. As a police officer myself, I strongly concur to having a foreign police commissioner. It is always better for us when the commissioner of police is neutral. And the person goes on to say, caller, get it right. Not the entire police force is corrupt. You are wrong there. Because I'm certainly not. Too much political interference. And our final feature, our Newspin news of the day. Venezuela's government and opposition agree in a fresh round of negotiations Tuesday that presidential elections will be held in the second half of next year with international observers present. Our Newspin news of the day. Venezuela's government and opposition agree in a fresh round of negotiations Tuesday that presidential elections will be held in the second half of next year with international observers present. That is the broadcast. Thank you so much for watching and listening to the most monitored talk show in the world. That's Newspin. Please join me this evening, 7 o'clock on DBS Television for the DBS News World, and at 8:30, Newsmaker Live. Goodbye.